Hey world, it's your host Marshall, and thanks for tuning into my podcast, runONthoughts. Here we talk about everything and nothing because we are not afraid to be all of ourselves even as we evolve. And that's my thought for my fellow thought thinkers as we unpack our traumas, past hurts, and other BS. Y'all ready? Let's go. Hey thought thinkers, I'm back at it again for another episode of runONthoughts. Here we unpack all of our shit, and I am so grateful to those of you who have been on this journey with me since the very beginning. I am grateful to anyone listening for the very first time. You are in the right place. I welcome you to unpack, to unlearn, to join us, to share. I welcome you to go to runONthoughts.com. From there, you can listen, you can subscribe, you can become a thought thinker, because it is now more important than ever that we become thoughtful thinkers. Critical thinking is turning into a dying breed. I want us to be able to explore our thoughts. And I want us to be able to think about who we are and what we want and why we want it and what is stopping us from living in our full truth. With that, today's episode is a little bit connected to that idea, the cost of becoming yourself. I know over here, sometimes people want me to talk about what's going on in the world, but I only care about what's going on in the world of you, in the world of us, and our minds, and our bodies, and our spirits, and our souls, because you matter. You deserve you today. Every version of yourself, every version of ourselves comes with a price. The question is whether you're willing to pay for the life that is truly yours. Last episode, we talked about protecting our wholeness. If you didn't listen to that episode, go back and listen to that episode first and then rejoin us, because today we're talking about something many people don't expect: the cost. The cost of becoming yourself. Healing sounds beautiful, and it is. Many of us have done the work, but becoming your authentic self often means leaving behind people, habits, and identities that no longer fit. Growth has a cost. The question becomes, is it worth paying? I tell you guys often that it is hard to be me. And I'm not being arrogant. I'm telling you this because when you do the work, the tests will come. Because that is how you align with wisdom. All the things you ask for, you just don't get them, right? If you ask for strength, you just don't get strength. You have to be put through something that will challenge your weaknesses in order for you to know that you are strong. And that is the part that many people do not know what to do, right? That's the part that people don't want to live and express and show and do the work. I don't know why everything we have to do comes through work, but that's the truth. That's where the lessons lie. That's where the tests are. That's where the triumphs are. The triumphs are in the work. The triumphs are in the basic parts. People celebrate butterflies. I love butterflies. But most of the reasons why I love butterflies is because of the journey that the butterfly has gone on. I am not just celebrating the beauty that is the butterfly now. It is the story of the butterfly. It is the journey of the butterfly. Few people talk about the cocoon. Few people understand the correlation about how transformation requires loss. You may lose relationships. You may lose the need to prove yourself. I'm not proving myself to nobody. I do not require outside validation. When people say, why would somebody your age do that? Or why would you do this? Or why? My question is, why not? And who are the theys? I keep asking y'all. Many people have attached their self-worth, their existence to whatever the societal norms are and what them people told you to be. And yet we don't even know who those people are. Ain't that some shit? We don't even know who those people are that are controlling our minds and our bodies and our souls and getting us to do things that don't align with our purpose and who we are authentically. But like I said, I don't need the validation of others because I validate myself, because there is power in validating yourself. If you need someone to tell you good things about yourself, you make yourself pray to those same people being able to tell you negative things about yourself. There is nothing wrong with people telling you good things about you, but you should not need it because you are sitting in the seat of manipulation, and some of those people will take you down to the floor. This is why you got to know who you are. This is why I am an advocate for people who have agency over yourself. It is also why many people enter into a relationship, right? And you become what that person needs you to be. And when that relationship is over, the suffering is not just because the relationship is over. The suffering is because you no longer know who you are without that person, because you had to give up yourself in order to get the love that you should have been giving yourself. You handed yourself over to someone else, and now you have no idea how to get yourself back because you gave up your agency. You didn't do the work of becoming yourself just so that you can hand it over to someone else. And that's not love. Love is peace. Love looks like you. Love looks like I like you. And I want to share me with you. Yes, I want us to grow, but you got to want to grow. And I got to be inspired to watch you grow. But I can't watch you become what I said you should be. Those are manipulators. Those are selfish people. Those are people who are unwilling to do the work of themselves, so they attach themselves to other human beings so that they can stop becoming who they need to be, and they look for you for validation. They look for you to be not the compliment, but to be their completion, and that is dangerous. It is dangerous for those looking to be completed. It is dangerous for those who are needy. It is dangerous for the person asking you to be what they need you to be, because that person becomes controlling. And it is dangerous for the person who needs to change because you are needy. Do you see what I'm saying? That there is a cost of being yourself, because you got to be willing to do the work. You got to be willing to do the work. And when you do the work, you may lose the version of yourself that survived but never truly lived. I want you guys to live. I am living. I am not rich. I am not the best at anything other than being the best at being myself. And that brings me glory. That brings me grace. That brings me joy. That brings me a sense of self. And all of those things together activated help me to go out into the world and be like Teflon against the nastiness of the world, because there are always going to be people who don't like you, who don't want you to, who want to see you suffer, who believe that because they are suffering, you should suffer. But the truth is, it's because they are unwilling to do the work of themselves. And misery loves what? Misery loves company. People who loved your silence may struggle with your voice. Sing loudly. Sing from your gut. Sing poorly like me. I can't sing worth a damn. And ain't that some shit? Because every person in my family can almost sing, and then there's me. I got the gift of what? Talking. All right, talking. People who benefit from your lack of boundaries may resent your new ones. And I'm going through that right now. I set a boundary, but we got to remember that the boundary is not for the other person. The boundary is for me. The boundary is self-protection. The boundary is your armor. The boundary is how you go out into the world. The boundary says you cannot come into my house with shoes on. I'm using a simple boundary. Person comes to your house, knocks on the door, open the door. There's a sign that says you cannot come into my home with your shoes on. That person sees the signs, understands, and still attempts to try to walk into your home with their shoes on. If you allow them to walk into your home with their shoes on, you are dishonoring your boundary. Not them. You are dishonoring your boundary. You set the rule. Right? And now they are testing you. They are testing you, and they are trying to assert their dominance and or not give a damn about your boundary. So it is up to you to say, you may not enter my home with your shoes on. Now, if you choose not to enter my home, that is okay, and you can leave. But I will not dishonor my boundary for myself for your comfort. But they get to make a choice, the same way that you get to make a choice. And and you have to be okay. You may like that person. You may have needed that person for comfort in that moment, but your boundary is more important, right? Sometimes people know that they have an offering that you want, and they dangle that offering of what you want over your head so that they can ignore your boundary. And it is okay for you to stand your ground, because trust me, whatever they are offering, when you dishonor your boundary, you will feel 10 times worse than whatever they were willing or able to give you. You will feel proud of yourself because you are doing what you are supposed to do for yourself, and that is sticking up for yourself. You got to be your own advocate. That's what all of this is about. You cannot just have these tools. You got to be your own advocate. You got to be your own protector. You got to be willing to fight for you, right? You got to be willing to fight for you. And that doesn't mean you've changed for the worse. It often means you finally changed for yourself. The greatest cost isn't losing people. It's refusing to lose yourself again. I don't want you guys to lose yourself. I don't want us to lose ourselves. I don't want us to be nice and be people pleasers. I want you to be kind, because kindness is a choice. Nice is when you feel like you got to do something for people out of fear of losing them, fear of hurting them. I don't give a damn. When I host Thanksgiving, it is my offering of love. I am not being nice. It is not because I want to make anybody happy. Yes, I want you to be happy, but it is my love language. It is what I am offering to those that I love. It is the season of saying happy giving, right? Because I love Christmas. And I mean the superficial version of it. I love gifts and lights and all of the things and people getting together and laughing and singing and movies. I love the thing because I love joy, and I'm not going to apologize for loving joy for no one. So Thanksgiving is my first offering of love through food, through celebration. That is my offering. It is not about y'all. It is about me. And that's how you decide whether or not you are nice or kind. It is your why. Why are you doing the thing for the person? Are you afraid? If fear is attached, other than for survival, let it go. It is time for you to have courage. And because of that, I want to share some ways with you that you can embrace the cost of becoming yourself. All right. First, expect discomfort. No, seriously. Expect discomfort. Growth almost always feels unfamiliar before it feels natural. Like everything else. Like learning a new skill, like starting a new job. Anytime you start something new, it takes a little longer. But the more you do it, the more you practice, the more you align with it, the easier it becomes. And it is okay to feel discomfort. Discomfort is necessary. That's the problem with this nice parenting or whatever this foolishness is called. Discomfort is necessary. You cannot be allowing your children and loved ones to skip the discomfort of an event, because how do they gain self-esteem? You are teaching them to rely on you for their self-esteem. They have done nothing that gives them power. Their power is relying on what you give them when you are in their face. But when they are thrust out into the world, they have nothing. They are empty. Because you have not allowed them to build themselves up. It is important to go on the hero's journey. It is important to go through struggle. That is where wisdom comes from. And that doesn't mean that you kick your children out at 18 or you want them to struggle or you be mean to them. But when you see them experiencing life, you get to stand by. But you gotta watch, because they can. They can do it. Stop putting your fears on them. Because you were afraid to do the thing, the cost of becoming yourself. I know it is hard. And I know that if you are living in the truth of being yourself, the journey was hard. But look at who you are now. And they cannot become that if you are unwilling to let them do their own self-work. If they fall, see if they can get up. Let them cook and clean and let them do things. Let them be proud. Let them learn to be proud of their accomplishments. Stop stepping in the way of their beauty. Stop stepping in the way of them becoming themselves. There is a cost to be great. There is a cost to become yourself. And that cost is the growth. Remember growing pains? Remember that your house becomes dirty before it is clean? Your hair looks crazy before it is beautiful? Come on. Come on. You know this. Stop standing in your own way. Next, don't confuse loneliness with alignment. Sometimes fewer relationships create deeper peace. That's for those of you that need 55 friends. And I'm trying to figure out how you can have 55 friends. You don't have enough hours in the day to have 55 friends. You can have acquaintances. There could be people that you know. There could be work buddies or whatever the case may be. But the need to have 55 friends lets me know that not near none of you are doing the work, and you and they are using each other to fill gaps, to fill holes, to fill loneliness, but it ain't deep. It's not real. There's no trust. There's no unity. It's just bodies. It's just bodies. As you get older, as you level up, as you step into the truth of who you are, you should have less friends. And not because you are judging, but because of alignment. Alignment. And alignment is not about money or beauty or any of that shit that social media tells you it is. Alignment is alignment of the soul. I don't think I'm better than no one because I don't think no one is better than me, but alignment of the soul. Alignment of loyalty, alignment of care, alignment of joy, alignment of wanting me to be my best self and wanting them to be their best self. That's how you should be judging your friendships. Not if someone dresses better or has the best bag or has a new car or is fly or wants to travel. That is some stupid shit, or has money. Everybody don't want what you want, and that's okay. But are they a safe place? Are they loyal? Do they have convictions? But if you ain't loyal and you're not a safe space, then I know you outside with people who are like-minded. I am grateful to the universal energy, to the God of love, because of the friendships and the family that I have cultivated in the name of loyalty and trust. My God, I see so many of you without that, and I just want to cry. But the truth is, you can't have that without becoming yourself, without knowing who you are. Because when you are out here faking it, you attract fake. And lastly, measure success by authenticity, not approval. Y'all heard me. If becoming yourself disappoints someone else's expectations, that doesn't mean you've failed. And for some of us, this means your mama, your daddy, your grandmama. This is usually the black sheep of the family. And this is what I mean by it is hard to be me, because I am willing to disappoint someone else's expectations. And I recognize that I have not failed. And I want you to recognize that you have not failed. Your soul, your gut, your stomach, your intuition, it was telling you that you were walking through life trying to appease people who simply ain't shit. Trying to appease people who are willing to stand down and obey the societal norms, because they need to fit in, and they have given up on being themselves so that they can be liked or accepted by them. And they don't even know who them is. They don't know who they are, but yet they are miserable because you cannot become who they told you to be without giving up yourself, without realizing that whoever they are extracting your energy. They are depleting you. They are why you feel empty. They are why you are so judgmental. They are why you are unhappy, and they are why you are jealous of those who can live in their truth. They are why you look at people who want to stand 10 toes down and do the work of themselves, who I validate myself, and those who cannot validate themselves look at you from a place of, oh my God. Of course they're judgmental. They're unhappy, but none of that is any of your business. It is none of your business who people think you are. Some of the feelings and the angst and the depression and the anxiety that you're feeling is none of those things. It is because you are trying to live your life by the expectations of other people. And I am trying to tell you to stop. I want you to affirm yourself, and I want you to say, I will not trade authenticity for acceptance. You need to accept yourself and your village of those who accept you because of your authenticity will be there. They will find you. Your people will find you. You will find your people. I want to challenge you. I want you to finish this sentence. The version of me I'm becoming is worth letting go of. Sit with yourself this week and write down whatever comes to mind. Look in the mirror at whatever comes to mind. Go to your mind about whatever comes to your mind. But know that the version of me I'm becoming is worth letting go of. Fear. Letting go of the trauma attached to your parents telling you that you not nothing, that you're not beautiful. Whatever the trauma is, let it go. It is not yours. Remember that darkness needs light. And darkness tries to hover over light and drain it of everything that it is in order to prop itself up. I keep telling y'all that evil only gets to exist because it depends on the grace of those who are good. Whew. The cost of becoming yourself is temporary. The cost of never becoming yourself lasts a lifetime. That is regret. I don't want you to live what regret. I want what I am telling you to give you permission to choose yourself. May you never again confuse access with love, sacrifice with worthiness, or losing yourself with keeping the peace. I'm tired of talking to you guys. Bye.